Big City Pharmacy, Dr. Bachner DR MD speaking.
Hi, I'm Carrie West and welcome back to my photography channel. I just got some medication from your pharmacy and the lady behind the counter had to have an emergency C-section, so she wasn't really able to explain it to me. I just want to make sure that I'm taking these properly.
Absolutely. You're going to want to make sure that you take it on an empty stomach and preferably wash it down with a few beers or some whiskey or something.
Don't you need to know which medication it is?
Nah, that doesn't really matter.
Okay. So with alcohol, why is that?
Well, it'll get you way more fucked up.
Am I supposed to get fucked up?
Well, yeah, unless you're a pussy.
I'm not a pussy.
I didn't say you were, bro.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course, if you have any more questions, feel free to call us back.
Okay, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Hey guys. I just got back from the dentist and they ripped some bone out of my face and then they had to crunch more bone in, so I feel like shit. But luckily I already filmed this video. I decided to take the good old G9 out for some street photography and I haven't done that in quite some time because I've just been using the A7III. So I thought I'd try with the new 2.4 firmware. I took the 8-18 out there, which is like a 16 to 35 equivalent, sort of, more like 16 to 36. There's definitely some drawbacks still to this system, such as, you know, ISO performance and stuff, but during the day it's really not a big deal. The thing that I really love about this camera is how cheap it is compared to the specs that you get since the sensor is so small. It has a really fast readout speed, so you're able to get really crazy burst rates even in silent shutter, and there's almost no rolling shutter, so you can actually photograph moving subjects without crazy amounts of jello happening. The A7 III, which I'm filming this on, is an amazing camera, but it's on the cheaper end of full frame cameras, which means that the full frame sensor has a bit slower of a readout speed. So you really got to be careful when you're shooting video or using the electronic shutter because you can get that jello effect pretty easily. So anyway, yeah, I had a really good time. I think I got some pretty cool photos, and we'll go ahead and get into this. Don't forget to keep your eye open for the pug hidden in this video, because if you're the first person to successfully post the timestamp where it's at, I'll come to your house with slippers on my head and make corn, grow corn in your front yard. Let's get started. Start here with just kind of a simple warm-up shot of these fake flowers on the bike, and something interesting to note here is that I was actually able to get some background blur with this tiny sensor and super wide lens. I just kind of forgot how easy it was even on a smaller sensored camera. How you doing, buddy?
Keep an eye on my bag.
I'm walking through. I basically told this guy I didn't have time to keep an eye on his bag, but somehow he knew in his wise old age that I would anyway. I'm just a nice person, even though I don't want to be. So I hung out here and I got a shot of this lady coming out of the door with his bag and him in the shot, which I thought was kind of cool. There's some layers to it, even though they kind of blend into each other maybe. They told me you'd just be right back. Oh shit. You alright? Jacked up your back? Damn, bro. Well, good luck, man. Feel better. This lady wagged her finger at me like I was her infant son, even though I wasn't even on the property. There's no law that says you can't point a camera at a building, and these people take their jobs just so seriously, as if it's a task from God to keep people from photographing this holy place. Here's a tip for you. If the cops around you don't give a shit, maybe you shouldn't either. Stop being such a whiny baby about shit. Still just kind of taking warm-up shots, getting a feel for the ultra-wide. It's been a while since I've shot a lens this wide, and it's really fun to play with. I was hoping I could get a more prominent subject in this scene. The scooter guy was way across the street and he's just totally fades into tininess in the frame. But this would have been a cool spot if somebody actually came by, but I sat here for a few minutes and nobody came on my side of the street, so I moved on. This is probably the first shot of the day that I was happy with. This guy came by at just the right time. I really love the shapes and how clean everything looks with the lighting and just the heavy contrast. Playing with a lot of light and shadows again today, and this one was kind of shitty. That's why I cropped it down to this pano shape, but I think it's still kind of cool. The shapes are kind of nice with the triangles. I kind of like this one. I think it would have been a lot stronger if the light was maybe at just a slightly different angle, so I could have squared off that building a little bit better. But I do like these mysterious shadow-only shots. I think they make for a cool composition. There's just something about this building and its bright orange color and the way that the shadow was diagonally cutting across it. I got a few shots here. I thought they were pretty cool. Was another one I was trying to get a shadow in this strip of light, but the trees and the bars kind of made it so you couldn't really tell it was a person. But honestly, even without the human element, I really like this one. It has a lot of cool shapes and leading lines and stuff. I definitely think this is my favorite two shots, and I'm leaning more towards the second one here just because the body is a little bit more pronounced. But I knew as soon as I saw this that this was going to be a cool composition, so I waited here for a few minutes. I don't know why, but these kind of abstract shadow shots were really drawing me in today. If you've seen much of my videos, especially at night, you'll know that I often go for shots like these looking indoors. And normally you can't really do this during the day, but when you get a nice window with no crazy reflections on it, you're able to get the sunlight just peering in, which lit up part of the back of my subject, which I thought was kind of an abstract and cool image. Waited here for somebody to come out, and these two were perfect. I love how the light splits her right down the middle, and he's wearing really bright clothes as well, just in full sunlight. I actually kind of walked with them for a second because her dress was just so bright that I had to get another shot with her in it. I thought this one was pretty interesting, and while they're not all the same colors, there is a lot of similar tones here with this warm orange and yellow all throughout the center of the frame. And then this guy also kind of matched the wall he was standing in front of. Again, trying to go for a shadow shot here with these bright colored stripes. It didn't really work. You can kind of see the shape of her head, but there's no way of knowing what it is. I love these kind of detailed shots, and even without the human element, I think that this one is probably one of my favorites from the day as well. I think it kind of tells a story, plus it's just aesthetically pleasing to me. I was gonna wait here for yet another shadow, but I ended up just taking the shot anyway. I think it's kind of interesting. It's got some cool lines and shapes with the jagged diagonals, but otherwise it's kind of a puby, boring shot. Well, they did it. They closed El Chapultepec. Didn't really faze me too much. I've never been there, but I know of a lot of like boomers and jazz fans that are really upset about this. It's like a staple in the Denver area. This is me beginning to follow my dreams and creating a series of animals pooping. So you gotta start somewhere. I ended up coming back over to this really Japanese-inspired place. This was much worse than last time. I got basically no good shots here. I just love this spot so much. I have to just keep coming back in brighter daylight and seeing what I can get. And to end on a bit of a downer, here's the last shot. It's kind of cool, got a nice little starburst in there, but no human element, unfortunately. Like I said, I'm just gonna have to keep coming back here. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is the end of the video. Please subscribe and like it or whatever if you did. If you didn't like it, then, you know, I hope somebody replaces your toilet paper with dirty needles. So I'll see you guys in the next one.